Hi! Thank you very much for joining back in. My name is Fonny. In my channel, I talk about my houseplant and my Hoyas. Today, it is a video that I am very honored to be able to film and show you. If you have followed me for a while, you know that I collect Hoya, cuttings in particular, that I got from a Swedish collector. I do get cuttings from different Swedish collectors, but there's one particular person that I've first known since I started collecting Hoya. And a lot of you has been asking me about where do I get these Hoya from? Can they get their hands on these Hoya? And it definitely depends on where you are located. If you are located in Europe, you can get the Hoya from the collector that I'm going to show you right now. So if you know, some of you could have know as well, Camilla is the former chairwoman of the Swedish Hoya Society. I first known about her, actually it's from a video from Miro. He was showing a number of Hoya cuttings that he got from a Hoya collector in Sweden. And he also left the note in the comment box how to contact this particular seller. So that was the way that I got to know Camilla. That is back in last year. And throughout the last year and throughout the pandemic time, it's really difficult for any of us to travel outside of your own location. And now I would say I'm really lucky to live in the part of the world that the transportation and the traveling seems to be completely open up now. So that's the time when I managed to book my trip to Sweden to travel for one way 7 hours from where I live to where Camilla lives. So yes, today I am going to show you her setting and also her Hoyas. Little bit of information about Camilla. She is the former chairwoman of Hoya Society in Sweden, and she told me that she started her interest in collecting Hoyas in 2004, which is almost 20 years ago. And she said that started off, she got really interested in the flowers of Carnosa, but then internet kicks in back in 2004. She did a little bit of research online and realized that there are so many different species of Hoyas and that it opened up the world of Hoya. And starting from then on, she now has more than 500 species in her home. I'm very impressed by how she actually managed to water all of her plants on time and to remember all of the names, and let alone to also do propagation and even do seedlings of the seed pots that she collects from her Hoyas. So I am so excited to show you how that looks like, because I know not a lot of people are able to travel all the way to Hoya land, which is in Sweden, and also it's definitely a privilege for me to see this private Hoya botanic garden. In order to make sure that everyone also have the privilege to see that, I have created a little short clip and a little bit of tour of her home in Sweden. So then even though you can't see in person, I can show you in this video. Camilla is a little bit shy, so she won't be showing up in this particular video, but she is very happy for me to show you around her greenhouse and also in her home, all of the Hoyas that she has. It won't be possible for me to film every single Hoya that she has, because she is definitely a true gem in the Hoya Society. She got more than 500 species of Hoya, and also she has a very good way keeping them. I learned a lot from her when it comes to acclimation and also propagating cuttings that I got from her. So that is something I can show you today. How it looks like in her environment, growing Hoya. And in this last part of the video, I am going to show you 11 new species that I got from Camilla. I'm super happy that I actually got these 11 new species because I didn't know that she had it. A few of them I know, but many of them she didn't mention that she has it. And then I just saw it in the Hoya Wonderland And then she's so nice, she just said that, yeah, you can just take it. Obviously, I bought from her, but I also do a bit of trade of my Hoyas with her. So it's just amazing trip, even though it's one way 7 hours, which you do the maths, it's 14 hours back and forth, 4 bus one way, 8 bus in total. It's still super worth it. And I'm so happy that I am able to go and visit her. Let's go for the little bus ride and all the way to Sweden to see her greenhouse and her collection. Okay, let's start with the tour with Camilla's Hoya greenhouse. All of the pots you can see here are using self-watering pots. I think this is a very smart idea when there are hundreds of Hoyas you need to water. Let's take a look at the right-hand side over here. This one is Hoya Nyhuusiae with large flat flowers. I bought a cutting from Camilla around April this year, and it has pushed out 4 new leaves under my care. I would say it is not a fast grower, and it takes quite some time to root. But the flower is absolutely worth the wait. It is a rare Hoya, as there aren't many clones circulating at the moment. Then we move on to Hoya Walliniana. This one here is the inner variegated version. Since Camilla has it under natural sunlight, the variegation is more evenly distributed around the leaves, which makes the coloration look very similar to the popular variegated Lacunosa, which I'm trying to see how I can get one, but yeah, I need to save up some cash for that one. Well, here is another variegated plant. It is the inner variegated Hoya Bella. Ooh, there are so many Hoyas around and it's hard to choose which one to look at. Okay, this one. This one here is Hoya Hypolasia. I first saw this one from Alice's video when she was sharing her Hoya import from Thailand. I was very attracted to the leaf shape and texture when she showed the close-up of this Hoya. I am so happy to see this in real life. It has a very dark green foliage together with fuzzy texture. Although the leaves are quite large, the stem are quite thin with wooden texture. With these two combinations, it could be quite a tricky one to root, but it is very special. Okay, which one next? Maybe this one? This one here is Hoya Stenophylla. I have only seen this on Instagram and it looks so different than what I have imagined. It is much narrower and thicker than I thought. Also, the growth pattern is very unique. You would imagine this as grass-like texture, but I totally got it wrong. It's very thick comparatively. Then this one to the left is the smallest variety of Lacunosa I have ever seen. This is Hoya Lacunosa Langkaw Island. It has the classic Lacunosa leaf shape, but with a miniature size, also with very nice splashes. Okay, let's see. This one here is Hoya Acicularis mutated form. This one has really nice growing pattern with good amount of space between each nodes, which make it look nice as a hanging plant. The leaves are very thick and narrow. Again, I start liking these type of Hoya as I have showed you previously for the Stenophylla. So this one reminds me a little bit of Shepherdii, but a shorter and narrower form. Let me know in the comment box down below if you have any experience of these two forms or these two species, and I can learn more about that from you. These ones here are Camilla's Hoya Carmelae seedlings. I have never seen seedlings before. Although they are from the same seed pot, they all look slightly different, and Camilla mentioned that it is very unique in that kind of way. They grow out differently. If you look here, this leaf is quite large and long. almost like David Camilla leaf in comparison to this one here. These are much smaller and rounder leaf shape, and this will be more associated with Carmelae kind of leaf shape. So you also can see that sun stress coloring on the edge. This one reminds me of Hoya Rosita. These all looks incredible. Okay, next. This is the unicorn over here. This one here is the inner variegated Hoya Manipurensis. To me, the regular form is already quite rare, and I'm always very curious to see how the inner variegated form looks like. This looks super unique in real life. The yellow variegation covered a large portion of the leaf, which makes the leaf has quite few chlorophyll field to make food. Camilla mentioned this plant is quite finicky to root, and it grows pretty slow. This one here is one of the very few non-Hoya plants Camilla owned. It is a Dischidia, which looks very similar to Hoya as well. I'm not sure about the name of the species. If you know, please leave your comment down below which type of or which species Dischidia this one is. It has lime green color on the leaf. The glossy texture of the leaves could draw a difference between Hoya and Dischidia, in my opinion. Ooh, now here. Can you tell the name of this Hoya by its look? I got a cutting from Camilla back in April this year, and I didn't expect to be able to root it successfully because of its delicate, tiny, teeny leaves. This one here is Hoya Microdwarf, also named as SPNS12323. The growth pattern of this leaf is quite unexpected. There are super tiny leaf size, as you can see on the top, but also leaves with 10 times the size on the lower part. This one looks very happy with the lighted condition. Now let's move back in. Could you tell the name of this one? I have shown you a cutting I've got from Camilla earlier as well. A hint for you, it has the tiniest flower amongst all Hoyas. If you can see this one here. This one here is Hoya Minutiflora. Mine hasn't bloomed yet, and I am so excited to see the hair thread-like peduncle with the tiniest flower on the tip here. This one here hasn't opened yet, but Camilla mentioned this is around the size when the flower is opened as well. The growing structure of this Hoya is also super nice as a hanging plant. This one here has so many peduncles, and look! There's an opened one over here. This one here is Hoya Lithophytica. This is the first time for me to see the flower in real life. The corolla is quite flat with a very small corona. The pretty thing about this plant and flower is that the corolla has a hint of pink around the dark pink corona. The transition color is so flattering that it looks like blushes on your cheeks. Here we have Hoya Clemensiorum, large leaf with deep veins. And then we have this large leaf here, Hoya Lambii IML 1810. The leaf size is bigger than my hand. We have a huge Hoya Chinghungensis on the top. And next to it, we have Hoya Atlas River and S07039. We see some flowers spotted over here. It has a typical Hoya Sigillatis flower shape, however quite different leaf shape. I also mentioned this one in my top 10 favorite in my previous video. You can check that out if you want to see some close up. Then we move on to another one here on the top. This is Hoya Hanhiae with pink flower. And then let's see. This one here is Hoya SPAFF Caudata. The flower here is starting to open. Let's see if I'm tall enough to show you. Focus. Look at the flowers. This has slightly fuzzy corolla, and the corolla is not just plainly pink. It is slightly having like pearly white with light pink strips. Very special. Okay. To the left here, we have some orange flowers from Hoya Lobbii. Down here, we have Hoya Fraser heels. Looks exactly like a rounded coin. And last one here, the shooting star Hoya, Hoya Multiflora EPC 124. Last final look of this Hoya Paradise. So now it is midnight, 12 a.m. I just traveled back from Sweden and I brought this one back home. And it has been a super long day for me, so then I really want to do this filming for you after I have got back home. I basically have woke up at 5 a.m. this morning and then it's 12 now. So I really want to show you what I got from the Sweden trip, and it's so beautiful cutting from Camilla. And let's take a close-up for all of these Hoya. The first one here, could you guess what this one is? Considering the size and the leaf pattern, this one is the reason why I traveled to Sweden to visit Camilla. It is because this particular Hoya, I heard from Miro that it is not a good traveler. The maximum days that it could stand in the male is 1 or 2 days and then it will dry up and die. This one here is Hoya Medinillifolia. I hope I pronounced the name right, but look at the shape of the leaf. Medinillifolia is a very beautiful plant. First reason why I really like Medinillifolia is because of the shape of the flowers. But now that I can see the shape of the leaf, it is just precious. And look at the back as well. It is amazing. This one here is Hoya Paradise with an accession number NS16002. This one I really like the coloration because the plant itself is very dark. If you can see the coloring of the plant, and also it has some veins in the deep pattern inside the leaf. It's not very prominent, however it looks really, really deep dark green color. And also the back is a little bit fuzzy, if you can see the back. This is a very beautiful specimen as well. I look very forward to make a bigger plant of this. This one here, I didn't know it's this big. The entire leaf, it's bigger than my palm. My hand actually. This one here is Hoya Nyhuusiae, subspecies Angulata. And it has really nice vein again, deep color vein, and also with the coloration, with the light that I'm showing you now, it has that kind of shiny coloration on the leaf. And it's very special because it's almost like it has a silver undertone, but obviously this one is not silver type of leaf. But the texture, it's very thick, if you can see over there. And also it has some splashes over here. Hopefully when new leaf grow out, or hopefully if this cutting survives and new leaf grow out, I need to be more precise, it could have more splashes, but I think it is just amazing quality of a cutting. Really, really beautiful. This one here is Hoya Hypolasia. I saw this one the first time from Alice's unboxing video. She showed us the very special long leaf shape, and I can actually prove that in real life it is not only having a very nice long leaf shape, but the texture is very, very furry. If you can see that on the side, the back as well, it has a lot of hair. I would say it looks, it feels a bit like patella, but then a more elongated leaf shape and also slightly darker in the coloration. But all in all, it's such a nice cutting. It is very good to touch. And also the vein underneath. This is very, very prominent. It's just very beautiful. Look at this. Very dark in color as well. This one here is Hoya Nyhuusiae. It wasn't in my list to purchase from Camilla from the beginning. However, when I visited her and then I saw this leaf in person, I asked her, what is this? Is this Nyhuusiae? And then she said, yes, it is. I really like the shape of the leaf and also the size of the leaf. It's not so big, but at the same time is big enough to have a lot of detailed vein pattern. And also the stem is very thin, which means that it will make it a very nice trellis plant. Just a close up. It's have a deep vein. And apart from the veining, it also have a little bit of shininess, if not actually a lot of shine, if you can see this. Very, very nice. And also I noted this one, actually not from the leaf, but from the flower. It has deep pink and purple corona flower. It almost like another version of patella for the flower perspective, but smaller. Let's see. Hopefully I can see this flower and I can show you how the flower looks like. But it's a very beautiful cutting again. This one here, it doesn't have a particular name, but it is Hoya SPSR 09005. This one, I believe it is from Cerisa. That's why it has the accession number as SR. And the reason why I really like this one is because of the vein and also the kind of texture of the leaf. It is very thick, if you can see. And also, I believe the flower, it's very, very nice. I need to check it out again on the detail on the flower, but this one, I look forward to have it grow. Hopefully it is a slow grower, so then I will have more time to fill up my space. But it's a really nice coloration again. Now it comes back to the small leaf type of Hoya, which is totally my thing. This one here is Hoya EPC 960. I think this looks like a large version of Hoya Sigillatis Atlas River. I don't know how close it is with Sigillatis, but the reason why I think this one is a plant I wanted to have is because of the elongated leaf shape and also the splash on the leaf. If you see this one here, it has some uneven splashes, but also it has a bit of a purple color. If you see this on the lighting, it's not directly purple. See, for example, this one is not purple, but then when you have a bit of sunlight or light in general, it has that kind of purple undertone of reflection, which makes it super special. And then this one as well, the new leaves. This one here is Hoya Nyhuusiae. I hope I did not butcher the name, and I have been trying to find this one for a long time. I didn't know Camilla has this one, but when I visited her greenhouse, I saw this and I asked her, maybe I can get a tiny cutting if that's possible, because it's so special. It's very elongated, but at the same time it's very thick. You can see over here it's very thick. It is nothing like a general Hoya look. I think I have seen this one from the video of Betsy, and she showed very rare Hoya she got, and this one she mentioned as one of them, and I think I totally agree with her. It is really, really special, and it's just a very bizarre shape, like a bean, long bean shape. This one is another very similar Hoya to the previous one. This one here is Hoya Stenophylla. I saw this one on Instagram the first time, and then I bookmarked it because I think it's so special. And I asked Camilla and see if she has this one, and she said, yeah, I have it. And then she actually gave me this cutting. I mean, it's just wonderful. I mean, I'm so pleased that she gave me this large of a cutting, and then she even gave me a peduncle. Oh, I didn't know. I thought it was a small cutting that she gave me, but thank you so much, Camilla. This one is really, really special. If you look into the leaf shape, it is very thin, and also it has a bit of thickness, but slightly thinner than the previous one that I showed you. This just looked like a very delicate leaf, but in fact, it's quite stiff. Very special Hoya. This one here is another small leaf Hoya. This is a Lacunosa subspecies, or a Lacunosa variety. It is from Langkaw Island. I can show you the particular spelling, and you can see that the leaf is extremely small, and also it's quite dark with a lot of splashes on the leaf. And it is, again, a very generous cutting. And when I look into the leaf shape, it's just a miniature of a normal Lacunosa, but also with additional splashes. That's the reason why I wanted to get this variety. It is very, very beautiful and cute. Last one here. This one is Hoya Nyhuusiae, but with pink flower. At the first time I know about Hoya Nyhuusiae, I already know that there is two colors of flower. One is yellow, another one is pink. I opt for the yellow one because I have not got a lot of Hoya with yellow flowers. And when I visited Camilla and saw this in person, she actually highly recommended this one because of the leaf shape is actually slightly bigger than the yellow flower variety. And she's right. The leaf shape is maybe half the size larger, but at the same time it's so cute. It's so rounded, but at the same time it has this kind of circle color. And to be fair, and the pink flower looks so cute as well. So I asked whether I can get one of this as well. And yeah, and then I traded a plant of mine with her, and also I bought some Hoya cuttings, and these are all the cuttings I got from her. It is truly amazing. Thank you very much for staying until now. I wish you enjoy the content as much as I do creating them. This is a very special video that I have created in my channel because I finally made myself outside of the apartment that you normally see, and I took you all the way to Sweden and see the legendary Hoya collector in Sweden, Camilla's 500 plus species in her home. If you can imagine, it's almost like a little kid in the candy wonderland and then got mesmerized with all of these new species that I've never seen. I've only seen them on pictures. I've barely seen pictures of flowers for some of them. And it is a really interesting experience for me, and hopefully you will find it very interesting as well. Having a very short, quick look of the greenhouse and also the collection that she has in her home. If you have any questions with regard to this video, any species, please feel free to leave your comment down below. I'll also leave the contact information of Camilla if you are interested to get cuttings from her. If you like this video and you would like to support me in making similar videos in the future, please be generous to hit the like button and share this video with your friends. And if you have not subscribed to my channel yet, please feel free to subscribe to my channel so then you won't miss out next time when I posted similar content or any content related to houseplants. Until next time, I wish everyone is having a great day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!